Hey everyone, welcome back to another live with us here tonight. Yeah, it's a little different because it's
Saturday.
Saturday. We ended up just some things happened last night that we just ended up not being able to get on.
But we're happy to be here
Yep.
today or tonight.
Yes.
It's nighttime.
It's almost the same time as we would have done it last night, anyways. About that 8:30 time, but
Yep.
we're excited because today we're actually going to be talking about incorporating fruits and veggies and
More,
how to
yeah.
incorporate more
More
of that
fruits and
into
veggies
your
in your
diet and into your family.
your family's diet.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to incorporate it and you want to figure out how to incorporate it
Mm.
more, and then I figured you also want to figure out how to
And
put it in with your family's diet too.
it just sounded weird. So we've got a few areas because, of course, you might have kids in your family that you're needing to accommodate for with fruits and vegetables.
Right,
You
absolutely.
might have picky eaters, or you might just,
Have some allergies and restrictions around it.
or or you just don't know where to start. Like with your own, like you're like,
That's
okay,
true too.
I just need to add more veggies, and I don't know what to do with them, kind of thing.
It's very true.
So, if we're starting off, we'll start with kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think start off with kids.
And
Good
this
idea.
is, we one of the reasons why we're on at 8:30 is because we have to wait till our kids go to sleep. Otherwise, they would probably be
Running in and out
messing
of the
with
whole thing.
yeah. But so, and one of them was fussy with going down tonight.
Yeah. Like he just went down probably like 10 minutes ago.
But so if you're wanting to get your kids to eat some more fruits and veggies and stuff, or try them out and stuff, one of our tips I would say is to get them involved. So if you have to take them shopping with you, get them to like look around and see the fruits and vegetables,
Right.
talk about them, and see what they're interested in, and get them to kind of pick things.
Yeah.
Because like that's one of the things that we've gotten to do with our oldest, who he's 4.
I was
So
like,
he'll
even sometimes with Elias, our youngest, who's only 2.5, he will even pick out some of his preferred fruits or even veggies that he wants to take home and try.
yeah, and they'll get to pick stuff out that they want to try.
Yeah.
If they want to do something different, if they want something similar, which of course kids do like.
They're constantly just wanting to try different things.
Consistency. Oh my
Or-
goodness. I was like so certain things, consistency.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot the word.
Hey, it's okay. You're 9 months pregnant. Fully.
Um,
Almost 10. You're actually
I
like
was
10
like
months pregnant.
actually but so getting them involved with the selection process is definitely
For sure.
helpful. As well as one thing that we do with our kids is just put it on their plate.
Yeah, and we've been fortunate that, and we understand not all kids are the same, and every kid has their, specific taste and preferences and patterns of how they eat. And if there's something new on their plate that they don't know what it is, they probably won't go for it. And it's understandable because even with our children, we've had to experience that. But I know our kids at this stage in their lives, they're only 4 and 2,
Right.
but they are pretty open to eating just about anything that we try to put on their plate.
Yeah. And we'll just put it on their plate. They're either going to ask us about it, what is this?
Right.
And then they'll either try it or they won't. And then we'll put it on their plate again.
Or in some
So-
cases, actually with our 2-year-old, like tonight, we made a chicken stir fry, and he was forking some of the stuff out of it, so the bell peppers and the mushrooms that we had used in it, and he was just like, I don't want it, Dad, you try it. So he would have me try
Right.
it, and sometimes when he sees me eating it and me saying like,
He's
oh, hey,
more
it's
likely.
actually really good, you should try it, he's more amicable to trying it himself.
Right. So that's also another additional tip would be that if you're doing this, so like, and that's something
To
else
show
that we
them.
have practiced is that like our kids eat what we eat.
Yeah.
So because of that, they're seeing us eat all these fruits and vegetables, and therefore they're more interested in them. Especially like if we're eating something, they want to
Yeah.
know what it is and they want to try it.
Yeah, it's almost like a leading by example.
Now, if you have a bit more of the picky eaters in your family,
Yeah.
some ways of incorporating more vegetables could be if you're doing pasta sauces or
Yep.
things like that, you can pretty easily
I was like,
hide
especially like
certain.
red sauce.
You can put carrots
Super
and
easy to be able to put
celery,
veggies in there
onions,
and just
yeah,
like blend it
and
up.
yeah, and sometimes you don't even have to blend it.
Yeah, as long
Um,
as you cut
because if
them
it's like a
small
meat
enough,
sauce
and
and
yeah,
stuff, yeah, and because you could also put like kale in that, not like a crazy amount where
yeah,
you're going to
no,
change the color, but enough that you're like it looks like parsley,
yeah,
because it's not going to change the flavor all that much, but it's an easy way to kind of
incorporate that additional green or that additional vegetable that they
it's,
might not otherwise have
yeah.
eaten.
Another easy one would be like spinach.
Yeah,
And that's like and you could also do that through like with a tomato sauce again.
yeah,
You could make a pesto, which has
oh yeah,
basil, and sometimes you can also put spinach in that to help make it more. And we actually for pesto we like to put spinach in it,
yeah.
but
We do.
that's
It's a nice
because
filler.
it's not even just a filler. It's like it's a nutrient dense green, so
Hmm.
we like putting it in there. So it helps add more nutrition to our pestos and stuff like
Right.
that. And then you could also add that to a red sauce
Yeah,
or
and
an Alfredo sauce, and
for
it just
sure.
adds more
And I
flavor.
was gonna say, one of the nice things about spinach, spinach has a good flavor on its own, but when you add it into like a pesto, it doesn't really overtake.
It's basically a really neutral
It
flavor.
just is. It really kind of blends in with the rest of the pesto that you're making. So when you have your basil's really going to be the prominent flavor there, or even garlic is going to be your two big prominent flavors when you're making kind of like a basil pesto.
And that's where like a lot of people can put spinach in like smoothies and stuff because it's
Yeah,
not a super strong flavor. So like
exactly.
things like smoothies and shakes and stuff like that are another way that for like picky eaters you could get them to try some more fruits and veggies because you could also throw in some berries which are really good in antioxidants but also
Exactly.
they're lower in sugar so they're low glycemic
Because
and stuff. Yeah,
even
it's like their berries are very good for you, which is a great way of adding those in. And then another way, so like if you're not looking at sauces or smoothies or shakes, you could also do it in soups
yeah,
because you can easily add in vegetables to that.
exactly. And then with the flavor that the soup is developing itself, with whatever protein you're using, and whatever stock or base you're using to really kind of help bring that flavor out. Um, the other additional vegetables won't overtake that flavor away from it, and so it's actually just really good to be able to add it in.
Yep. So that is where we are at for the kids and the picky eaters. And
Yep.
now for those of you that are looking for different ways to add in veggies and fruits. If you're kind of looking at it as like, okay, I'd like more fruits and veggies, my snacks tend to be more super carb heavy or
Right.
things like that, you could also look at putting in some more fruits and vegetables that are within your snacks.
Right, and I know I was saying earlier before we got on, one of the big things that I liked growing up was like ants on a log, which is just peanut butter on celery and then some raisins on top.
Yeah.
It's
But you
really
also,
simple, but it's got really good flavor because the peanut butter is going to give you more flavor than the celery and the raisins are. But you're still getting the benefit of eating the celery as well.
you also could do like veggies and hummus,
That's always really
things like
good.
that, yeah. Or you could make like a yogurt sauce kind of
Right.
thing. And then the other option is you could make like a berry parfait.
Yeah, berry
Um,
parfaits are always a really good option, especially if you have a specific yogurt that you really like. It's like we usually use a Greek yogurt, and we'll add honey to it to kind of sweeten it a little bit because we don't really go for like super sweet yogurts, and that's fine because we know that there's other individuals that prefer like the vanilla yogurt or a coconut yogurt. That's perfectly fine. You can make parfaits with any of that. But adding fresh berries on top of it just always brings that up just another level.
and then another kind of play on your like ants on a log, you could do like for the fruits and stuff, you could do like cut apples and peanut butter
Yes.
and things like that.
Or you can even have it where it's just like cut up fruits and veggies. So like you can do your celery, your apples, carrots, really anything that has a nice body to it, and then put it with peanut butter. And again, the peanut butter is gonna have a strong enough flavor that
Did you just
the
say
veggie.
carrots with
Yes.
peanut butter?
You can do it. Carrots have just a little bit of sweetness, but it works.
Still, nope.
It works.
Nope. So that's how you could add it in as, some snacks.
And don't be afraid to make something weird. Because
I mean, that's experimenting is how you
that's
find
a really big thing
new ways
with
of doing things.
food.
So, yeah. So another thing that if you're looking to kind of replace like your lesser, like your carbs.
Yeah.
My brain was like, how am I wording this? You could always there's people who want to cut carbs a lot,
Yeah.
and so they're like, okay, that's where you kind of have your cauliflower rice or things like
right.
that, which is ways that you can do it.
So good, just raw too.
It is. I'm not entirely on the cauliflower rice fad. We've done it for people,
No,
and
yeah,
it's been
for sure.
delicious. So
Yeah.
mind you, we've cooked for people who have been on that. So we also offer recipes for it.
Yeah.
But so like things you could replace that, or like with noodles, you could do your veggie noodles
Yep.
and stuff like that. So there's ways to incorporate.
I was thinking stir fries are really good. Actually, thinking about noodles, stir fry is a really good way to be able to incorporate veggies.
So the zoodles.
The zoodles, that works too, because then you have your zucchini noodles.
But you just
But even with other vegetables, because the sauce that you're going to be using in your stir fry is going to be your big flavor.
And the main thing that you would want to do if you're doing like a veggie noodle sort of thing, because it's vegetables and they already cook pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be your
when
last
they're
thing to put
cut
in.
like noodles, they're going to cook a lot faster. So
Yeah.
you don't want to overcook them because then they
No.
just turn to mush.
I would almost say that you'd want to just put them in the bowl and then put the sauce and the toppings on top of it and mix.
It just depends on how
And just-
hot
yeah.
it is, but yeah. And then
I mean, that's how they treat ramen.
one way that we also add in extra veggies and things like that into our meals is that we will do like a mix. So we'll do a veggie medley or a mix of different vegetables so that it's much more vegetable focused,
Right.
and then our protein.
Right.
And then we might have a starch or something.
Yeah, either like a rice or, potatoes are a starch. So you can do like baked potatoes, or we'll do a lot of the time like oven roast potatoes. And we'll just incorporate that in with a lot of the veggies that we end up doing. But that's how we prefer to eat. Now, if you're introducing it into your family and you're really just trying to get that ball rolling, I would say to introduce at least with a couple pieces of veggies. It's because, like, for the most part, when we do our mixed veggie, we probably get like 4 or 5 different types of vegetables and put it all in one sheet tray and cook them together, or at least we're cooking them and then mixing them together at the end.
Because with a sheet tray, like, and this is, we'll get into sheet tray meals, but you want like vegetables to cook with like vegetables, because if you're like, so for instance, if you're cooking like tomatoes with potatoes,
Yeah.
it's not going to
Your
work out.
tomatoes are going to be completely
on
like
tomatoes.
mush.
I picked a fruit, but anyways, but my point is that like tomatoes don't need that long to cook. Potatoes
don't.
need a lot longer to cook. Don't cook them together,
Yeah.
like at the same time.
Right.
It's not a good idea. Won't end well. So in that sense, like, and we can touch base on that
Yeah,
if
that
you
could
want to know
definitely be a
more about sheet
future
tray
live.
meals and things like that, or one pot meals and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we really focus on packing in vegetables
Yeah.
to our recipes and stuff like that. So actually, if you're looking to try more vegetables and have more vegetables in your meals, trying out our recipes is actually a really good way
Yeah,
of
because-
doing that. A really simple way of doing it, because it throws in vegetables.
Yeah, and of course, with our meals, we end up having the full recipe ready for you, and we break it down so that way it's easy to follow, and we don't have like a huge story of a blog
Oh man,
ahead of the
where you have to read like a
recipe.
massive story that
Yeah,
is
right.
like,
Or you have to scroll through forever to just try to get to the recipe.
yeah, I feel
And
like that's,
yeah, that's the worst part about finding recipes
because it's like
online.
if it's a blog post and you're like wanting it to be a blog post, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna read your blog.
make it
But
the story as
if
a
it's
blog
supposed to
post.
be a recipe,
Get to the
just give me the
recipe.
recipe.
Yeah,
But so trying out some of our recipes, they're pretty veggie heavy,
yeah. But we also like to make it where it's
also balanced.
balanced. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was gonna say a complete meal, but of course, like when you're having a dinner, it's a complete meal.
We just give you half the meal.
Yeah.
Just half. But then I would say our final tip for incorporating more fruits and veggies into your diet is ultimately making it a priority.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking the time to buy the fruits and veggies, just like if you're taking the time to plan your meals and things like that, you're more likely to follow through with it.
Right. It's because it's taking that additional step that if you're not already doing that step of making it a priority, purchasing the veggies or the fruit or
And the fact that you're
what
thinking
you're
about
looking
it.
for to bring home, because at the end of the day, if it's not home, it's out of sight, out of mind, and you're not going to really be thinking about it. And if you are thinking about it, it's probably going to be at the last second when you're like, oh well, shoot, I got to go to the store in order to pick it up to be able to add it to my meal. But for the most part, if you're bringing it home already and you already have it in your fridge, or in some cases, certain fruits can just stay out on the shelf, or even some veggies because potatoes and onions and garlic can all stay out.
Well, and having it like right in front of you. So like for us, we have apples and bananas
Yes.
and
Oranges.
oranges that are just out. So like our boys will just come and be like, "Oh, I want an apple. I want a banana." But it's like right in front of
Because
them.
it's one of the first things they see. And now we do have some of the like snack crackers. Like we just got a box of Belvitas. We personally love Belvitas. We think they're
It's
great.
turned into
It's not an
Belvitas.
advertisement.
It's
I
not.
swear.
But
But we just happened to buy a box
well, I mean, of
like
course
the other day when I was at Costco.
you're gonna have a mix, but
Yeah.
as long as you're having certain things out in front of you that are going to be fruits and vegetables or they're prepped ahead of time or things
Right.
like that, and you're making it
Something that they
something that is a thought.
Yeah.
Because if you're not thinking about it, then it's never going to happen.
Right. And if the choice is there, that's a big thing. Because you're leaving the choice available to be like, oh yeah, I want something fruit or veggie.
Yep.
But
So, we.
if you got any good tidbits out of this, or
Yeah.
if you're catching the replay and
You have any questions?
feel free to leave a comment down below.
Yep.
We love seeing them. We would love to be able to get back to them and really kind of give you more pointers and like give you more ideas on how to be able to incorporate more.
And then also, of course, like if there's anything else that you want to see, want us to share,
Right.
anything, obviously food related,
Yeah.
meal plans, whatever, write it in the comments, because, we love being able to,
Bring you that value.
yeah, because no other reason that we are here and we want to offer value, as much value as we can, to all of you.
Right. And even if it's something as simple as, hey, we want to see you guys cooking dinner one night. And just if you guys could try to go live while you cook dinner, that'd be great. So we can just be there in the kitchen with you.
On those, I can't promise there won't be kids.
The kids will be there for sure. They probably will be running in and out, but it's something that, as long as we're getting more feedback from you guys, the better value that we can go ahead and provide to you as well. So, of course, leave it down below in the comments. We look forward to seeing you again live next week. And yeah.
And we hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day. Everybody have a great weekend. And can't wait to see you next week.